Welcome to stage 20 of La Vuelta 22. It's the last big day in the mountains before Sunday's procession into Madrid. There are 5 climbs on the menu with almost 4,000 metres of elevation gain. It should be a day of fascinating battles, both for the stage win and the general classification. Race leader Remco Evenepoel is gearing up for what is sure to be a memorable day in the saddle.
This is, until now, the most important day of my life. You feel like so many emotions going through your body. It's special because you're one day away from a Grand Tour victory. So you start dreaming, you start believing more than you did the days before. But I mean, it's a stage like all the other stages, but it's just the last one. So let's try to stay as calm as possible, as long as possible. And yeah, my lead is quite comfortable, so following is the task. And yeah, it's all about the head and the legs today.
Enric Mas sits second, over 2 minutes down on Evenepoel, but Movistar will do everything they can to topple the Belgian.
Of course, the second place is important, but we are here to win the race. So we will risk today. If we feel like yesterday, or if we feel strong enough, but we will try our best to win the race. Second is amazing, but the win will be better.
One man who may struggle to defend his position today is Carlos Rodriguez. The Spanish champion is 5th overall, but still suffering after his crash of 2 days ago.
Creo que estoy notando más la caída que en el día de ayer, pero bueno, con suerte cuando una vez empecemos ya a montar en bici se me irá yendo un poco el dolor, la hinchazón y demás y podremos hacerlo bien. Y tengo que estar contento con la vuelta que he hecho, independientemente del resultado de hoy, centrarnos en hacerlo lo mejor posible y nada, y disfrutar al máximo.
Stage 20 takes the peloton into the community of Madrid with 181 kilometres between Moralzarzal and the Puerto de Navacerrada. A tough early climb will thin out the peloton, and then there's hardly any respite in the last 100 kilometres. Strap yourselves in for an explosive conclusion to this 77th Vuelta. There are plenty of tired legs out there after 3 weeks of hard racing, but some riders have still got some energy left in the tank, and 7 of them quickly peeled off the front. Rob Stannard was targeting the polka dot jersey that Alpecin de Koenig had hoped to win with Jay Vine. He was joined by teammates Xandro Merisa, plus Simon Guglielmi, Clément Champoussin, Dani Navarro, Joan Bou and Ruben Fernandez. There were plenty more attacks behind, with Gino Mader going clear for Bahrain victorious. Marc Soler was also on the move again for UAE Team Emirates, along with potential stage winners like Thibaut Pinot and Richard Carapaz in the polka dot jersey. While they were hunting down the leaders, Carlos Rodriguez was starting to go backwards. The 21-year-old was in for a tough day. And with the pace high, the peloton was soon shredded down to a group of favourites. Evenepoel up towards the front. Stannard was first to the summit, closing the gap on Carapaz in the mountains classification. Meanwhile, Alejandro Valverde and Vincenzo Nibali attacked from the peloton. After going solo before the summit, Soler managed to fight his way to the front of the race on the descent. This was the Spaniard's 7th breakaway of this Vuelta. He's clearly in excellent shape. He and Stannard soon pushed on together, with the rest of the breakaway drifting back to a chase group of some 25 riders containing Carapaz and Valverde. Pinot, Mader and Mühlberger were the next to make a move from that chase group, the trio gradually closing the gap on Soler and Stannard. 5 more points for the Australian at the summit. He was now 14 behind Carapaz. And the main peloton, containing the top GC riders, was still over 5 minutes back. 2 soon became 5 up front, and the Stannard group still had over a minute on the Carapaz group in the fight for polka dots. But the Ecuadorian wasn't going to give up his jersey without a fight. He soon battled his way back to the front of the race with Higuita and Valverde as a bigger group reformed. The riders approaching the penultimate climb of La Vuelta, the Puerto de la Morcuera, with some steep gradients. And Louis Meintjes made the most of them to go clear with Higuita and Carapaz. There was also a bit of movement in the GC group, with Movistar setting up an attack for Enric Mas. Rodriguez was distanced once again, but Evenepoel responded easily to the Spaniard's move. At the summit of the Moralzarzal, Carapaz mathematically wrapped up his polka dot jersey. With 18k to go, he, Higuita and Meintjes still led the rest of the breakaway by 45 seconds, while the red jersey group had closed to within 2 minutes. It was then on to the final climb of this race, the Puerto de Cotos. Carapaz looking to shake off Higuita and Meintjes, but the Colombian champion got back to his wheel. Hessink and Mader also attacked from the chase group, which was soon swallowed up by the favourites. The big guns upping the tempo, but nobody seemed capable of landing a killer blow. A few kilometres from the summit, Evenepoel and co were only 25 seconds behind the leaders, with Meintjes in their sights. And that gap was down to only 10 seconds when Carapaz put in another big attack. This time Higuita was unable to follow. The Ecuadorian reaching the summit with a small gap, but there was still over 6 kilometres of false flat before the finish line. Thymen Arensman was the only man who looked interested in chasing him down. The Dutchman seeking his second win of the race. Carapaz was out to complete his hat-trick.
Arensman's running out of time. He's giving everything he can, but Richard Carapaz is going to do it. Carapaz, the Ecuadorian eagle in the blue and white jersey. He won stage 12. He won stage 14. He takes the stage 20. Richard Carapaz wins at the top of the final climb of La Vuelta.
Just as Mads Pedersen made it 3 wins in the green jersey yesterday, Carapaz makes it 3 wins in the polka dot jersey today. The Olympic champion matching his haul at the Giro d'Italia. Meanwhile, barring any accidents tomorrow, Evenepoel has sealed his first Grand Tour victory and the first for his team boss Patrick Lefevre in the history of Quick-Step. Tomorrow he can savour his win on the road to Madrid.
It's amazing. All the critics I got, all the bad comments since for last year. I think I finally delivered, and I answered to everybody with my pedals, and winning a monument, winning San Sebastian again, winning 2 stages and then the GC, and then getting married in the winter. I think it's the best year I can imagine and wish for.
Carapaz taking his 17th career win by 8 seconds from Arensman, with Ayuso leading in the GC favourites. Evenepoel rolling home in 6th place after containing his rivals throughout the day. No changes in the top 4, with Evenepoel set to win ahead of Mas, Ayuso and Lopez. Almeida and Arensman both move up a spot, with Rodriguez slipping to 7th. Pedersen has utterly dominated the points classification. He'll be going for a 4th stage win in Madrid tomorrow. Job done for Carapaz, who will enjoy his final Grand Tour stage with Ineos in the polka dot jersey. Stannard gave it a good go, but finished a long way back. At just 22 years of age, Evenepoel will also finish this Vuelta as the best young rider. Stage 21 is a short and flat stage of just 96 kilometres into the Spanish capital. After the inevitable sprint, it'll be time to celebrate the heroes of this Vuelta, and especially Evenepoel, who will finally end Belgium's long, long wait for a Grand Tour winner.